Hi student, welcome to Botany class. Today we are going to see the classification of algae. So among that, we have previously discussed about the 11 classes of algae and the chlorophyceae, the class chlorophyceae. We already discussed in the previous video. Now we are going to see the phaeophyceae or brown algae. Phaeophyceae or brown algae. The members of this class are generally called brown algae, because it will be brown in color. So due to the presence of the fucoxanthin pigment. Okay, so majority of this form is found in the marine habitat. So brown algae. Majority form it present the brown algae. Some exception. Freshwater form, that is a Pleurogladia. Pleurogladia is a freshwater form. This is a freshwater form, Pleurogladia. The thallus is a Phlometus, because remaining all are marine. Listen, only one freshwater form, that is a Pleurogladia. Remaining all are marine form, that is a seawater. The thallus is a Phlometus in Ectocarpus. That is a Ectocarpus, the thallus like Phlomet. And then fawn like Dictyota. This is a fawn like Dictyota. Giant nail, example laminaria. This is a laminaria. And macrocystis. So that is a macrocystis. Okay. So thallus, that is a Phlometus form, Ectocarpus, fawn like Dictyota, and then giant lip laminaria and macrocyst. This is a laminaria, is a macrocyst. So next, the thallus structure, it will be differentiated into the three regions, that is a fawn, leaf-like photosynthetic part. The fawn, that is a leaf-like photosynthetic part. So entire thallus. Leaf-like photosynthetic part, that is called fawn. And style is a stalk-like structure. So that is a style, a stalk-like structure. And hold fast, it is a bottom part. It will help to attach with the substratum. That is a hold fast. So that is a hold fast. It will be attached to the any other substratum. Okay, it may be a rock or sedimentary rock, whatever it may be. Okay, so fawn is a leaf-like photosynthetic part, and style, that is a stalk-like structure, and hold fast. It will help to attach the thallus on the substratum. The major photosynthetic pigment, that is a chlorophyll A and C, along with the carotenoid, xanthophyll, and fucoxanthin. That is a golden brown pigment. Fucoxanthin is a golden brown pigment. It gives the shade of the color from olive green to brown. So for this algae, it gives which one? The fucoxanthin. It gives the color to the olive green to brown color. So due to presence of the fucoxanthin pigment, it is a golden brown pigment. Fucoxanthin is a golden brown pigment. And reserve food material, mannitol and laminarian starch. So these two are main reserve food material for the class Phaeophyceae. And then reproduction. So like in chlorophyceae, all three type of reproduction, vegetative, asexual and sexual. Let's read the vegetative by the fragmentation. Vegetative means by the fragmentation, some Phlometus structure. Asexual reproduction by the formation of zoospore only. So in Phaeophyceae, asexual reproduction only by the formation of zoospore. The zoospore, that is a motile spore, flagellated spore. And sexual reproduction, that is iso, aniso and oogamous. All three types exist in the Phaeophyceae class, Phaeophyceae. But among them, very common is a oogamous type. All three are present, but majority of the sexual reproduction is oogamous type. So iso means the gametes are identical, both in morphological and physiological. Aniso means either physiologically or morphologically dissimilar. Aniso means both morphological and physiologically dissimilar. The sexual reproduction, it formed a motile reproductive structure. That is a gamete or motile. The two lateral insert unequal flagella. So that is a two lateral insert unequal flagella. So in the morphology oriented, the flagella is differ. because one is whipless, that is a smooth, another one is tinsel, that is a minute hair-like outgrowth is present. Listen, whipless means smooth form and tinsel, it is a minute hair-like outgrowth is present. So these two are various in the size, that is a unequal, and it's not originated from either in the anterior or posterior part. It will be start from the middle, so that is laterally inserted. Okay. Now alteration of generation are present in the phaeophysi, that is isomorphic, heteromorphic or diplontic. So the diplontic life cycle. What is the diplontic life cycle? That is the dominant phase is a sporophyte, that is a diploid 2n. It alternate with the gametophyte, that is a haploid. Okay. So here what is the isomorphic and heteromorphic? Iso means, so both sporophytic and gametophytic structure, morphological structure are identical, similar. Heteromorphic means both morphologically and both sporophyte and gametophyte are dissimilar in morphologically. If you want more reference, you see the previous video, the life cycle of algae. I give the clear explanation in that video. Okay. An example for phaeophysi, sargassum, laminaria, fucus, dictyotum. So that is a sargassum and laminaria, fucus, dictyotum. Okay, so these are the example for phaeophysi. Next, we are going to see that the class rhodophysi, red algae. It's generally called red algae because it contains the picoerythrin pigments. So erythrin, which is responsible for the red color. Okay. So it's a red algae. Mostly it is a marine, like phaeophysi, it is also marine form. The thallus are multicellular, macroscopic, and diverse in the form. So diverse may be unicellular, but very common multicellular, macroscopic. Unicellular form propyridium. So that is a unicellular algae. It is very, very important. Unicellular algae. Give an example for unicellular algae. Propyridium. Okay. Flamandas. Goniotrichum. So that is a flamandas form. Goniotrichum. Example. Ribbon-like. Propyra. That is a ribbon-like structure. Example. Propyra. So that is a diverse. Unicellular to multicellular. Flamandas ribbon-like structure is all present. Next, Corallina lithothamnion. It is heavily impregnated with the lime and is formed a coral reef. So the coral reef, it will be formed by these two red algae. Okay, so that is a Corallina lithothamnion is heavily impregnated with a lime and is formed a coral leaf. That is due to the deposition of the lime, it will be formed a coral reef-like structure. So that is a Corallina, it is a lithothamnion. And major pigment, that is a chlorophyll A. Apart from this, it contains picoerythrin. So this is very, very essential. It is very, very important for give the red color to this group of algae. And picocyanin. So picoerythrin means blue red. Okay, so picocyanin means blue green. Reserve food material, that is fluoridine starch is present. So here, so what is the OR sir? So OR is represents the rhodophysi. Because the picoerythrin, picocyanin, this is also present in the cyanobacteria. Okay, so that's why if they mention the OR mean it belongs to rhodophysi. Red algae. So rhodophysi picoerythrin, rhodophysi picocyanin. Fluoridine starch is a reserve food material. Next, reproduction. So all three types of reproduction: vegetative, asexual, and sexual. But here the vegetative is only narrated to unicellular form. Only unicellular form it will do the vegetative reproduction. So remaining all group is come under the rhodophysi, do the asexual and sexual method of reproduction. For asexual, it takes place by the means of production of spore, that is a monospore, only a single spore, and the neutral spore and tetraspore. Okay, so these are different spores are formed in the asexual reproduction of the rhodophysi. Sexual reproduction, that is oogamous type. So oogames mean the both male and female gamete, morphologically and physiologically dissimilar. So the female gamete are very huge, male gamete are very small or minute. But here one exception. What is the exception mean? Mostly oogames that mean the male gamete are motile, but in rhodophysi male gamete are non-motile. That is the exception. In previously rhodophysi we see that the motile reproductive structure is present, that is the male gamete or motile form. But in rhodophysi male gamete are non-motile form. So how can reach to the female gametes? By the water. So due to the water current, it will be carried. The water current is helped to carry the male gamete from male sex organ to female sex organ. Okay. So oogames type, the male sex organ, that is spermatangium, which produce spermatium. Spermatangium is a male sex organ. The gamete, male gamete is called spermatium, which is non-motile. That is very important. And then female sex organ is called carpogonium. The spermatium is carried by the water current. Although I told you, no, it's carried by the water current and is fused with the egg nucleus. That is a carpogonium is contain egg. Okay, so egg is a female gamete. Nucleus to form zygote. So spermatium is a haploid. Carpogonium is contained the egg is a haploid. So haploid plus haploid, as a result the zygote is a diploid. So the zygote is developed into carpospore. After meiosis, that is meiosis is occurred during the formation of carpospore. Okay, so zygote is developed into carpospore. That means the zygote is undergo the meiosis as from the carpospore. The alterational generation is present, and some example will be given for this group. That is Sermanium polysiphonia. That is a Sermanium is a polysiphonia. Gladylum, so that is a gladylum. Cryptonema is a cryptonema, and Janitaria, so that is a Janitaria. That's all about rhodophysi. So thank you, student.